And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Supercoach Insider podcast. My name is Swiz. I'm here with Nico today, and we're going to do a bit of starting off a brand new team. First off, and that, as always, check us out on all our socials, Supercoach 100, on the Twitter, YouTube, especially the TikTok these days, and also Swiz 26 if you want to talk to me. Thank you to everybody that's been shouting out. We always appreciate it. Thank you to the Jock Reynolds team for having me on recently, and also the Centre Bounce boys. As always, we're sponsored by Splash Vodka. Now, I'm here with Nico. We're having some drinks. We've had a great day out and that, watching the Royal Rumble. Firstly, I was just on a random thing. How was that, mate?
It was good, actually, yeah. Cody Rhodes won, which is good. I like that. And, probably having Rhea Ripley win as well. That was pretty obvious that was going to happen. And, leading to WrestleMania, so it should be fun.
And before we get onto your footy stuff, mate, and that, you're obviously a very keen cricketer. Gun cricketer would be understating it and that, that. So, mate, just tell us a bit about that, mate. You know, what are you doing in the old cricket? And give us a quick 30-second spiel about your career.
Well, off spin pretty well, in my opinion. Took 13 wickets in a final series. And, that was about it. And then in my footy career, I kicked 5 goals in a game one time. That was pretty good as well. So, can't complain.
Underselling yourself, mate. You played Premier ones. You're a gun off spinner.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, mate.
Just Premier ones and that,
got a few state players out. You know how it is. It's hard like life.
But we're here to talk footy. And you're a big Essendon man, mate.
Yeah.
Essendon member?
Essendon, Essendon tragic.
How's the last 20 years gone for you?
Yeah, not great, obviously, thanks, Swiz. But you know what? They always say if you start from the bottom, you're going to go up. So hopefully onwards and on.
What does better, mate? Your Supercoach or the Bombers at the moment?
Probably the Supercoach.
You'd want it to be.
Won a few finals. Sounds bad.
That's good. Yeah, well, as we've always said, we're lucky because our cricket club, we've got 4 divisions. I think you went up into 3rd division for this year, Nico. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
3rd division.
Yeah, didn't you go up a division or something in Parkfield for Supercoach? Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's pretty good in that.
We're at Div 4 to Div 3, so that was good.
And we've said this. I had somebody ask me this. I'm actually in the Jock Reynolds the other day, and we're talking about the Richmond Forum, where we've got, I think, it could be 12 divisions these days and that. So plenty of people ask about, do their supporter groups have stuff. So definitely, check it out. If you don't, you might have just a members general Supercoach page, and maybe just put a post up there and say, is anybody interested in getting in the league? And then it just starts from there. So I know Abdul and the boys, that's how it started for the Richmond boys. And obviously we have so many followers now and people interested. So that's what you kind of want to do. Now, Nico, do you have a special team name you go with each year?
No, I probably change it every year. So
what's it this season, mate?
Shebangabang. I don't know, a bit random, a bit funny.
Do you want to explain the story behind that? There's always a story.
Probably because I don't know if everyone remembers a few years ago. There was this Commonwealth Bank ad, and they always used to say, I think they always called Shebangabang New Zealand, and I'd sort of just run with it and started saying anything about Shebangabang. So that was it, really.
Yeah, no, beautiful. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people who tune in because we have different ranked people, from first down to the newer players in the league. So we've got the brand new blank team. Chris and Ben have been doing their road to round 1. Mine is definitely coming. I know everyone's been asking about that, but the Supercoach for the brand new people, here's what you're looking into. So you've got your 6 forwards, 2 bench. 6 forwards, 2 bench, and defenders 6 and 2. Midfield, you've got the 8 on the field, 3 on the bench, and then you've got your 2 rucks with 1 on the bench there, starting with your $10 million. So Nico's, he's probably a little bit more of a novice with Supercoach, so we're going to have a go here. We're just going through and 3rd year doing it. So for those newer people, everybody's at a different level and that. This might be a bit more of a chat for people who are starting up and just having a look at some players that Nico likes, and we'll see if we can get his team started for us, because that's what a lot of people shout out and always ask, I'm trying to start up my team, what do I do and that. So maybe this will hopefully help you guys out there. All right, so we'll get into it, Nico. Is there anyone just straight off first that you just really love? Like a lot of the time, if you're loving watching footy, there's just players that you want in your Supercoach team because you want to love them. So is there anyone that comes to mind there before we begin with that? Like any line, any position? Is there?
Probably. I like Nick Dacos. He's probably arguably the best first year player to ever play the game.
Yeah, you looked awesome last year. So, okay, well, because you've gone there, we'll start off in the defence and that, and we'll get your boy Dakes straight in there. If I go into ownership percentage, we should have... Now, one tool that you guys won't see on my screen, but naturally, a lot of when Supercoach first opens there, it'll sort by last year's averages. For those in particular who have Supercoach Gold, and it's usually free at this time of the year, you can see the ownership percentages. So at the moment, Dakes is sitting there at 46%. So he's right up the top, the most pick premium. So if you're looking at starting a new team, that's always a good place to look, because especially those who don't know the rookies, you can kind of have a look there and go, okay, everyone's on them for a reason. There must be a reason for that, and obviously not everybody can keep up with all the information that comes out team by team, so that's what we kind of do. All right, mate, defenders, what are you looking at in that? Do you have actually a particular strategy, or is there you just like throwing in players you like, or what's your way of going about it?
I'll probably like players that are actually going to make an impact on the game. I know it's pretty cliche, I guess, but you get your few premiums that you want in there, and you get the few mid table, and then a couple of rookies that are going to make you money off the bench. So that's pretty much how I try to run things and see how we go from there.
All right, so we'll go the premiums and that, and we'll just get the premiums in each line, and then we'll just see what money we've got left off. And a lot of those higher players, we obviously go the strategy of trying to pick as many rookies as we can that are available, and then whatever money's left, that dictates our structure. But I know a lot of novice players, it's more about the idea of getting those premiums that you like in, and then we can work around there. So you've got Dakos, who's another premium defender that you really like, mate.
Probably Stewart's the next one, but then also looking at the money is 600k, so it's probably as much as I'd love to have him. I don't know if I'll be able to maybe afford it. I don't know. Yeah,
and that's the hard thing with someone like Stewart this year, because he's a lot, and these guys, Doherty, Stewart, Dawson, Sicily, Sinclair, are very expensive players, and you probably can only fit one, maybe two of them in at best. So if, let's say, we go one of them, is Stewart the one you like the best out of your Sicily, Sinclair, those players and that?
Yeah, Stewart's probably the one.
Is there any reason that you like him?
I like the way he plays the game. He's probably the next captain, I reckon, for Geelong, because Selwood retired. So the way he plays the game is pretty aggressive, and he likes to intercept mark and run off half back line and get their attacking going from the back line. So it's pretty good in my books.
Couldn't say it better myself than that. Yeah, we love those intercept marks, and he definitely gets the ball around. All right, maybe we've got one more. Is there anybody else that tickles your fancy up and around that price range, or we can go a bit lower? So you look, as I said, you're kind of looking at two or three of these guys, and we're trying to get a bit of Nico's perspective on this. So if there's anybody that actually so he's kind of looking through that list at the moment. We've gone past your Aaron Halls and stuff like Brayshaw's. We're now into that 500 mark, where he's kind of having a look through.
Daniel Rich is probably another one.
He is. Mate, age is a bit of a problem there, but I like the thinking there. And then that's another thing to be considered with these guys who are sort of over 30. Yeah. Kind of have a look at their ages and stuff. Wow. He's in deep concentration here and that. Like, we actually had these picked out before and stuff like that, and he's now second guessing himself for like going, oh god, there's so many names on camera. Can I pick all of them? That's always the problem. That I've got that issue at the moment, trying to fit so many people in.
I don't know. What's Caleb Daniel?
Caleb Daniel, mate, I'm not actually liking his role this year. No. And this is a good talk on that, because there's people you're going to put up, and you actually said this, you're not going to shit on all my picks, but you did say him. Let's get him in there now, and we can always move it. Where the fuck is Daniel? This is the problem. And this is where it comes down to those percentages. So let's go through the percentages. That might be better, because you'll see guys that you might like better there. You can actually filter this for prices as well. So if you actually press filter, you can take out the rookie. So if you're like looking at the highest percentages, so for Nico, we're just going up to about the 460k now, and you'll see the highest percentage players picked under that one. So then he can kind of mark down his couple of premium, or maybe a second premium guy, or third actually in this case, with Stewart and Dakos that he actually likes. So there's a name there that stands out to you. And sometimes when obviously you're new to Supercoach, you want guys that you're happy to watch. Yeah. For me, I'll watch the players that I have in my team, but that's not for everyone.
100%.
So is there anyone there, mate, as we're scrolling through that?
If you can scroll through, it'd be great.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah. At this point, I will say we're about 10 drinks deep after a good day watching the wrestling, so it's good fun of that. So I know a few people talking about a couple of those Essendon guys in there.
I do get Ridley as well. He's a good shout.
No, we'll check him in there.
Yeah,
Okay, so we've got our three premiums and that. We'll move on to the midfields, and we'll just focus sort of on these premiums here that Nico's kind of looking at and that. So now, who was the first one that you picked before when we were talking about this? And there was a standout that I turned around and said, move him to another position.
No.
Who were you all over, mate?
I think I picked Dunkley.
Yeah. And this is a common thing. A lot of people say, oh my God, Dunkley's up the top. If you are looking at that and you go, oh yeah, Dunkley for the midfield, he's the sort of guy, him and Taranto are highly picked. You put him straight in the forward line and that. You want to leave your other premium. So we know that you're going to want Dunkley. We're going to put him in there into the forward line. That's an easy thing. And it's an easy thing to do with finishing team, but obviously you want to put any dual position players into that, into their, for the lesser positions is the best way to put it. All right, mate. What about those premium?
It's hard to go past Clayton Oliver.
Yeah,
he's just a standout player, and yeah,
he's I think that's 49% at the moment. If you can read that better than me, Nico.
49%.
Yeah, 49. So half the competition are on him. He's a ball. He's a captain option, and you're also thinking your captain is your double points. So you want somebody like that who's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a good shout there, as Nico would say. And give us one or two more there, mate. Anybody else that, as we go down the line, and I can shit all over your pick, which is what we do to each other.
It's hard. Maybe like Jack Steele or something like that.
Yeah. Let's get a Saints player there, and that somebody's got to love them, hey.
Yeah, he's good for Supercoach, so can't get past him.
He's had a few injury problems. Like last year was a down year for him. We all expect him to bounce back. So, sitting in 21% at the moment, so that's pretty good.
Higher than Lachie Neale too.
Yeah, so a lot more love than Lachie Neale, which is a bit of a surprise. But that's because I think people are thinking how Neale finished the year and Dunkley coming in. But he's still a great shout. Shout.
No, true.
Anyone else that's... This is like you coming into bowl off your 20-step run up, bowling off spin, mate. Hop, skip, and jump.
Tom Green's just good for GWS too.
Like it. And for those thinking of why Tom Green at that price and that, they've lost a couple of midfielders, and he's the next bull.
He'll play there most weeks, I reckon.
Yeah. And give me one more, mate. Let's see if you can find one more in this list.
Chad Warner's pretty good too, I reckon.
He's the next big breakout there coming for him.
He'll play in there most weeks, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. I know you're a bit more set on your rucks. You had a couple of guys in mind here, so
probably Tim English and Witts, I reckon.
Yeah. So Timmy English played in the practice match the other day. Looked awesome again, and we know he's had his injury concerns and concussion concerns, but he's one guy that you get in straight away. You'd rather start him and instead of trading him in and then trading him out. That's 31% for him. And what's old Woodsy mate there, mate? He's
10%.
10%. So really undervalued Wits. Obviously, best ruck last year. Played the 22 games. The ruck, the captain of the Giants. So he's hitting down also to Rao and Anderson, a developing midfield that's going to get better. And he was absolutely fantastic. So, but just because of the price tags, setting people off. But that's definitely one to watch. All right, and we'll get into this forward line. So at the moment, we've got Dunks in there. Is there anyone else that really stands out from you from these high pricey kind of blokes?
It's hard to go past Dustin Martin.
Even though we just had that argument before where I said Dusty's playing full forward and kicking 100 this year, but mate,
he'll pitch you in the middle.
Yeah, pitch you in the middle.
He'll kick you 2 or 3 goals a game, get you fucking 25, 20 odd disposals, I reckon.
And that's fine. I'll argue that till the cows come home, but I like the fact that that's no problems. I know a lot of other people love having Dusty.
You don't like Dustin? Is your mate?
My mate? Yeah, well, he's got my photo in the profile of him, even though I wanted him traded 2 years ago.
Oh, I can't believe it.
What a shit Richmond supporter. What a shit Richmond supporter.
Unbelievable. Where's your three grand finals?
Yeah.
Where's your 3 North Smiths?
What a trade him. What a trade him, mate.
Shit house.
Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Buy high, sell low. No, that's the wrong way around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like how I do it.
Yeah.
And anybody else in that forward line. Oh, this is amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. And I love this because I know a lot of people at home are doing the same thing, and I know talking to my other half doing the team, she's literally doing the same thing, looking at it, going, "Oh God, look at this name, look at that name."
Are we just looking at premiums, are we?
Yeah, we'll get our premiums in, mate. And
Cameron's a good one. I would have thought. No.
I don't like key forwards and stuff. No. I think you're looking more up this top range if you're wanting. And that way.
Cornelia stood out to me actually as well. Just.
Yeah, I'm big on cogs.
Yeah. Because he'll pinch it in the middle and.
I think he even does more than pinch hit in the middle this year.
Yeah.
Because Taranto and Hopper are out.
Yeah.
But he can get forward and kick a goal. And so a good leader. So already there, we've picked 12 of our 30. So Nico's got that. And that's what you're trying to look at about those 12 premiums to start. He's got 3.1 million in the bank right now. Now, obviously, he's still got to fill 18 holes. But if you're going to think the bench, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they're going to be roughly around that 120,000 mark. So 125,000 times 8 gets you to $1 million. So for those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots left, he's going to have about 2.1 million. So he's going to be averaging around the 200,000 for it. Now, there's going to be some rookies on the field that obviously will bump that average up. There are some guys in the forward line, underpriced guys like McLean and your Kings and that. So, and even the back line, we've talked about, say, Caulfield and Gota and that, who are going to come under that 200,000 or around that 200,000 price range. So the team will actually kind of shape out pretty good. So if we look at some of those percentages and we actually change the filter that we had here, because for Nico we've just had the highest priced guys. So all of a sudden, if we're basing ourselves on that average of say about 250,000, where Nico can start, and there'll be some players that'll start shaping out. So even if we just go the Ruck, for example, is the first one. So the most popular one at the moment is Nick Madden, because he's 102k and he's just that forward Ruck loop. So a lot of people are just locking him in at the moment, and then if something else comes up, they can change that, which is pretty easy. So already that, we were talking that average before, and even on the bench we we're talking 125,000 average. Well, that's 20,000 Nico saves that we're going to be able to pump into someone else. All right, so we get into that forward line as we do a bit of a build of this team here. So your highest percentage guys, you got Toby McLean, who's the mature age guy at the Bulldogs. He's obviously played a lot of footy now with Dunkley out. We've got Josh Shin and Philip Pui from St Kilda, a couple of really rated high kids from this draft. Yeah.
You reckon he'd start?
Oh, that depends on St Kilda. I don't rate St Kilda as high as other people, so I think there's always a chance we'll play a rookie of that. And then you've got Ben King coming back from injury from Gold Coast.
He's going to start.
So straight away, and you can the moment you sometimes see these names, you're like, oh yeah, no, straight. Like I don't even have to prompt Nico there. He's just bang all over that. I can't even read who that other bloke is. It's some North Melbourne bloke.
Dury or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And then Finn McRae, who played a little bit of footy last year. You got Oscar Allen, Sheasel, who was the pick 2 in the draft. No, 3 because Cadman went 1. So Wardlaw and Sheasel from North. For some reason, Alwyn Davey. Do you think the Davies have a chance this year, mate? You guys kind of need a small forward.
I reckon they are. I don't know if they're going to start straight away. It probably depends on how Tipper's going. He, from all reports, he's going pretty good. He's hit the track running pretty hard. So if he's good to go and close to 100%, I reckon he plays round 1. If not, I think one of the Davey boys. Oh no, because the other Davey's injured. So Alwyn. I think it's Alwyn that might get a crack, I reckon.
How much he 117, so there's a few, so we can throw him in there. And the thing with the rookies, these are the ones just change. It's easy to change them as it's going on. So we need 3 more kind of those sort of rookie price guys. Anyone else kind of stand out there for you, Nico? I think you need Toby McLean because everyone's got him.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to throw him in there for you.
Why not?
But looking at some of those couple other names that are around there.
Sheasel might get a crack, I reckon.
Yeah, very, very talented kid there playing half forward.
Pick 3 that they're not going to pick someone so high and not play him, I reckon, in my opinion.
No problems. And then you need one more forward for now.
No, Philippou, I reckon, as well.
Unless you wanted to go a bit higher price and look at Nat Fife for that and spend some of that money. You're 330, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah, you probably go him then.
Yeah.
I reckon.
And this is where we were just talking about there about, and that's why we pick our rookies first, because we normally know about price stuff. But there's Fifey comes in there, 330, something like that. So then all of a sudden, because Nico saved a bit more money there, he's able to get Fife in. So we'll go into the back line. Now, a couple of thoughts here straight off. Now, number 2 on that list, mate, can you tell me your thoughts about Connor McKenna?
Well, he obviously played at Essendon for a fair while, and I don't think he'd be able to crack in to their defensive lineup at the Lions. You know, they've got Rich. Robinson still plays there for a bit. Who else plays in the back line? But I just
they've got the new kid, Wilmot, as well.
Right. Yeah, Wilmot. So I just feel like he won't be able to crack in there. So, like.
But were you a huge fan of him when he was at Essendon?
Yes, it was good. It was good for our game style and our game plan. Like, he run off half-back. So, like I said, I think he'll get a crack, maybe through injury and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think that's where it's at. Like, you're relying on kind of injuries go down and stuff like that.
He might be a good bench player.
All right, yeah. Okay, we might go the other line then and go Darcy Wilmot over him because he's a bit cheaper.
Yep.
And that, I'll tell you, these 2 West Coast boys, everybody's on. Is it? I can't see that. Gimby, yeah. Gimby was awesome the other day in the hit out in the practice match. So a lot of people he's a little bit more expensive than the others, but you can see why he's picked so much. And Chess has been pretty well much the same. So not to throw names for you there, mate, but they're definitely people that you should be looking at. And there's a reason why we sit there and say percentages, because those guys are so highly owned. There's a reason for that, and it's because they are tallying up their pre-season and there is spots available for them. All right, mate, is there anyone else there that kind of stands out for you at that price range?
Will Gould, actually, from
he's got to get a crack at some point, doesn't he?
I thought he played a few games.
No, he didn't play. No, Longmire kept not playing him.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he plays at that.
I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
Am I thinking of someone else?
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe get rid of him.
You won't get rid of him? Fuck him off. Well, we'll be like horse and like, not your time yet, son.
I thought he had a crack.
No. We've been waiting for him to have a crack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Bowie's is a good pick.
Yeah. Coming from the Suns to the Cats. And you got one more in there.
We'll go the Goater.
Yeah. We're all talking about him and the GOAT of that. So he's going to be playing off half-back at North. So I think he should start down there. The good thing about picking Goater, even if he doesn't start at 190k, it's easy to trade him down that round 1 instead of trying to find money to go up. So, and now with that, we've got the 4 on field, 3 on the bench. Nico's still got 1.2 million to spend. So if I'm doing my averages there, we're about 180,000 each. But once we get a couple of these real cheap rookies in, that'll obviously drop. Now, a couple of the rookies in there are a bit expensive to start off with. One of them's an absolute jet, which is the top guy, Ashcroft, and that. So he absolutely dominated the VFL last year. So you're happy to throw him in before we do anything, mate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a reason why
he's a definitely starter in my books.
All right. Anyone else that it's really standing out? So Nico's at just over $1 million, and we've got the 6 players to.
Oh, Josh Sin.
Yeah, Joshy Sin.
Yeah, he's a good one.
He's been carrying a little bit of an injury, but with Amon leaving, he should get that wing roll. So we expect him to start round 1. So we're sitting at now 900,000 with the 5 players left as we kind of move further down here. Well, we actually kind of missed one of the guns in Will Phillips, but.
He was another one I was looking at as well.
So he missed Glandria Fever last year, but very much in the sights at North Melbourne to play hopefully through that midfield. You expect they want to get some of those young fellas in. Now with Horn Francis leaving, definitely want to look after those guys. All right. Who the hell else do we have?
I thought I had Philippou in the side. No.
No, you do, didn't you? Why didn't you put him in the end?
No.
No, we must have not.
Get him in there.
Yeah.
Chuck him in the midfield.
Oh.
We can swap
Yeah,
him
we can always swap him around. That's a good thing, even if that doesn't happen. Yeah, Mateus, there we go. In.
3 more spots.
3 more spots, and we've got nearly 600,000 to spend. So,
Blakey's not a bad shout.
yeah, Connor Blakely. You think Freo to Gold Coast? There might be a reason that I get worried about maybe position, but he could definitely slot into the back line or in that 22, 23rd player. So for now, I don't think that's a bad one to sit on. So we've got 445. There's definitely one more expensive player that we haven't talked about, but which is in there from Richmond and Hopper. But are you a fan, mate? Or don't have to be.
Yeah, he's a good player. He'll be a good player for you guys. He'll play more in the midfield. Now that Dusty's getting a bit older, he might stay in there a bit longer. So
all right, we get him in, and then we've literally got, the only problem is that we've got about 113 to spend, so we're on a bit of the cheaper side here, and this is where it gets problem, and this is why we start looking at rookies first, because we're down to the absolute basement barrel, so we can go filter that for one last go. Oh, and what are we going down to? Like 113. Wow, does that even exist? There we go. So we're looking for somebody fucking cheap. And I think this is why people are picking this Dury, because what's he, 102? And I think that's probably the main reason people are picking him, just because of the price at the moment.
Yep.
So put all that together, and that's kind of first. And then this is a good starter, especially with so much information coming out of pre-season. Nico's got his team in there for now. He doesn't really need to make a lot of edits, unless he hears some real big information about like a big injury or whatever, and then you might have a little look through, and then somebody, as you're coming close to that season, with sort of a week or 2 weeks out, it should have saved and done its thing.
Good.
Yep. Hope it has. Imagine that. And not a friggin'
saved
saving.
at the bottom.
But now we've got a blank screen. How good's that for our viewers?
Oh, good.
Oh, God. Technology, mate.
Oh, no.
It's all over. It is generally over.
It's not saved. We're going again.
I'd say we're none for 200 here, but that was you guys yesterday.
We're good.
All right, so, and there we go. So we've got Nico's team sitting there nice and pretty. Let's move that around. So, and that's just kind of a good basis to start off with. And as I said, as that information comes through, you can make your changes. Really, probably a week out from the season, you'll hear a lot of information about rookies and which rookies are playing. And then it's an easy edit to go, okay, this guy, say, Blakely doesn't get a go. Okay, which rookie has been named? Make the alteration there. It's always nice to have a little bit more cash up your sleeve in that. But, even if it's one of these higher price guys that we've put in, like a Mateus Filipuri, or it might even be, let's just say, for whatever reason, Ashcroft didn't get a game. Higher price guys, easy to go down than if, let's say, we went like a 130 guy, and all of a sudden Ashcroft's a lock. How does Nico then change his team? And then he would have to change, premium guys that he wouldn't want to do. But yeah, it's a good starting off. I quite like that, mate.
That's the team that's going to win.
That is the team that is going to win the 50k and Parkfield this year. So
yeah.
You're in Divvy 3.
Well, I'll be in Div 2 next year. We'll lock it in, all right?
Just
guys?
lock it in now. Just do the paperwork now, mate.
Just get me in Div 3 now.
Yeah, that's
Div
it.
2 now.
That's it. Any other words, mate? It's nice having someone different on, having a chat.
No, it was good to be on, and hopefully everyone enjoyed that, and can't wait for everyone to sledge my team or start copying my team, because it's a good team.
Yeah, and feel free, sledge it away. He loves a bit of sledging. But any advice on that, or anything? If you've got actually any advice for Nico, and just to give him any small starter pointers, and not just him, but everybody else out there who is starting up, because we've all started, we all had our first year at one point. It's like everything, and we... Though a lot of us have taken our Supercoach, like everything, very seriously, there's a lot of people who just knew and want more people playing. So, yeah, if you've got any tips, shout it out, leave it in the comments, and we'll pass it out and hopefully get more people playing the game.
That's it.
That's it. Beautiful. Well, good shout. Thanks for coming on, mate. And
no worries. Thanks for having us.
We'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.
No worries. See you.